Hello. Hello. I'm just going to give a couple seconds for everybody to come on board. We're talking about complaints. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I also wanted to take a moment to welcome all of our new members to the group. My name is Dr.Nima Rahmany. I've been a chiropractor for the past 15 years, transitioning into working with people who are stressed, depressed, and anxious, and transforming them over a period of time into feeling and being powerfully aligned on purpose and clear of resentment and regret, doing what they love, being badass entrepreneurs, unapologetic, taking off the masks and uncovering their lies. So basically, I made a discovery a while back that stress, depression, and anxiety is basically a cover-up, is a distraction for an inauthenticity. Hey, Elizabeth, what's up? Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. I want to give a moment for people to come on board, and we're going to be talking today about complaints. And hey, Melissa, what's up? What's up, girlfriend? We got somebody from Glendale, California. We have Atlanta on board. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Say hi so I can give you a shout out. We're talking about complaints. This is to see if you're one of these complainers or you know somebody, please tag them or bring them into this group. Invite them in the group and tag them because they're going to want to hear this. Hey, Kim, what's going on, girl? Alex, what's up, brother? We're talking about complaints. Alex is my tech, so he gets to hear me complain non-stop. Word up, Melissa. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thanks for the likes and shares. So we're talking about complaints, and just an FYI, I wanted to put this out there right now that if you know somebody that really needs to hear this message, please invite them into the group as a request and tag them on this post because it'll be in the group. Because we're talking about an issue that when I discovered the truth of this work, it completely changed the language that I use. And everything in my life completely transformed. And when I fall off track, I get the signs and symptoms to be able to jump back on and transform everything around me. And the complaint that I used to live with, the lie that I was living with, was that my father and mother don't support me. Everything that I want, everything that I do, they resist and say I shouldn't do it. And so I made up a story, and it's been a long, persistent complaint my entire life. Only recently, I'm embarrassed to say that only recently I uncovered the truth of the complaint, and I discovered what it was, and I took specific action steps, and not only did it help my relationship with my parents, but every area of my life, from relationships to finances, to my physical health and well-being, to my self-esteem, my confidence, my business, everything transformed. Hey, Eilina. And I just thought, I can't really leave this out for you guys. And this is a very important part. It's actually module 2. Hey, Neeks. What's up, girlfriend? It's my cousin Nika from Toronto. I'm so proud of her. And so everything in my life completely changed when I owned up to this. And so what I want you to do is just to think about something that you're complaining about, something that you persistently complain about. So my complaint was that my parents don't support me. I just had one of my best friends has this persistent complaint with his relationship. So his complaint is that she's not, connecting with me. I'm just an ATM. All I'm there to do is just to work, and then I just go to work. Hey, what's up, Nick? Hey, Jen, how you guys doing? So the complaint is, I just go to work each day. I get no attention, no appreciation. Now, from her perspective, her persistent complaint is he whines all the time. Nothing I do is ever good enough. Nothing I do is ever good enough. So what I want you to do is just to think right now about a complaint or a shitty story that you're constantly whining about. Hey, what's up, Tara? Nick, Pay attention, bro. This is for you, my friend. Give me a little bit of a high five or a what's up or some love, because I'm talking to you, my friend. Tara, what's up? Tara, excuse me. You hear Tara all the time. I got it right. So I want you to think about what it is that you're complaining about. I lift the mic off the shirt. Okay, thank you. All right, thanks, Alex. See, he's my tech. I appreciate that. Sometimes complaints serve. Thank you, Alex. Is that good? Hey, what's up, Kevin? So I want you to think of some of the things that you're consistently, persistently complaining about. Just write it down. Share it. What are you complaining about? If you're brave, get vulnerable. Share in the group right now. Share right now in the comments section, what's your persistent complaint? Think about it. What are you whining about all the time? I'm going to share with you a few tidbits, a few insights that might help you. DD, what up? So, my husband's ex-wife. Perfect. I have no food in the house. Good. Tara, your husband's ex-wife is something you always whine about. Perfect. Great. Thank you for sharing that. Tara's very vulnerable and open. She just attended the Montreal Overview Experience. So she got no problem getting vulnerable and sharing. Now, Mao, my clients are always changing their schedules around. You're talking about me. Okay, hi. All right, so air out your dirty laundry, Alex. Thank you, bro. Okay, so here's the key. Here's the distinction, is that you don't complain unless you're getting a payoff or a benefit from it. And there are 4 or 5, hey Kaveh, what up? There are 4 or 5 persistent payoffs. By the way, this is Werner Erhard's work. This all this stuff I got from mentors. Everything that I teach, everything comes from the fact that I'm a junkie for personal growth, personal development, self-awareness, self-actualization, health, healing, transformation. I just can't get enough. Once I put this down, in between seeing clients, which I'm helping with transformation, I'm looking at videos and all of that to help transform myself and help myself. Hey, what's up, Golnar? So I want you to look at the thing that you're complaining about the most and just realize there are 4 or 5 payoffs or benefits. So now that you've written down what your complaint is, like my husband's ex-wife, number 1 payoff that you get is the way that it is, by your complaint, you get to justify who you are, where your position is, and invalidate theirs. So by me complaining that my parents aren't supportive of me, I get to justify my position or my situation or the fact that I'm not, moving further along. They didn't support me. If they supported me, I would have been a lot further, justifying my position and invalidating their position, which comes from their values. So no two people have the same values, but if that person has a different value than yours and you complain about theirs, you get to invalidate their position and justify yours. So number 1, hey Golnar, hey Azizam, what's up, my dear? Number 2, you get to, by your complaint, you get to, if it's somebody that you've subordinated to, you put above you, you get to dominate where you felt subordinated, or by complaining and whining about them, you get to avoid being dominated. All right? Hey, JC, what up, brother? So, number 1 is you get to justify yours and invalidate theirs. Number 2 payoff of complaining, whatever the hell it is that you consistently are whining and complaining about, you get to invalidate theirs. You get to dominate where you feel subordinated, or by complaining, you get to avoid their domination of you. All right? And number 3, okay, so pay attention to what it is that you kind of wrote down as your persistent complaint. Those of you who are tuning in just now, write down what you always whine and complain about. And I'm sharing the truth of kind of the payoffs, the benefits of complaining. Everything that I learn is from all of my mentors. John DeMartini, Werner Erhard, Byron Katie. I've assembled all of their work into my own kind of overview method, patented it, and I share it and teach it in a very unique way. And people tend to like it when they kind of do the work. Number 3, is one of the benefits of you constantly complaining. Think of what you're complaining about all the time. Number 3 is that you get to avoid responsibility. So by blaming my parents for my situation, I avoided the responsibility of it. So my where I'm at. And one of my buddy who's constantly complaining that his wife doesn't give him enough attention and affection, he's avoiding the responsibility of being the cause in the matter of her disengagement. I did that in my marriage. In my marriage, my constant complaint was I'm not getting enough physical affection. I'm complaining that I'm not getting enough praise. I'm not getting enough acknowledgement. She doesn't appreciate me. I got a buddy of mine who's going through a divorce. What's his complaint? She doesn't appreciate me. Her complaint, I don't feel appreciated. So this is a constant, yes, you did that in your marriage too. Great, Dida. I'm so glad that you own that. The first step towards changing it is owning it. So by constantly complaining, you get to avoid responsibility. See, the thing is you have so much power. You have so much power to transform and be the cause in the matter of healing and transformation in another human being. But the problem is when you sit down and you whine and complain, I'm talking, by the way, not you, I'm talking me, myself included, because I'm in this stuff too. I don't pretend to be better than you. I just look at myself. I'm like, shit, I'm lying and pretending and acting and complaining. I'm in this as well. It's for me to have strategic feedback and get to see somebody to call me out on my bitching and my complete inauthenticity. So what I did was I got to avoid responsibility. My buddy who's not feeling appreciated, he gets to avoid responsibility in making her feel appreciated. She's whining and complaining about him. She gets to avoid the responsibility of stepping up. So the complaint, oh, he's an abuser. Oh, my parents didn't support me. They're all half-truths. I don't want to say lies because there's sensitive people that can get triggered. So I'm just going to tone it down because you're not in a workshop. Many of you aren't clients yet. Because if you were clients, I would be able to sit down and just look you in the eye and say, quit your fucking bullshit. Own up to your lie or your half-truth that you could be the cause in the matter of the transformation. Hey, Kyla, what's up? Hey, Kelly, good to have you join us. So I'm getting you to just own up to your complaint. What do you persistently complain about? And this complaint can also be not just about other people, but about yourself. So if I was complaining about myself, exactly, I'm an asshole. If I consistently complain about myself, then I get to justify when I'm at. I get to avoid responsibility of stepping up and doing the work. Because it takes you doing the work in order to see a transformation. It takes you looking in the mirror, owning where you're the asshole, where you've been delusional, and then stepping up and owning yourself, owning it, taking responsibility. And so the last one, the fifth one. So number 1 was by your persistent complaint, you get to constantly feel justified, and you get to invalidate the other person. Number 2, you get to dominate the other person when you feel powerless and subordinate, or you get to avoid dominating. So, Tara, the fact that you constantly whine about your Kyle's ex-wife is that you get to basically avoid responsibility. You get to be the hero and justify your position. She gets to be the villain who's invalidated from her position. Because, there's no getting into another person's world. God forbid, we just don't do that. And funny thing happens is we get into the other person's world, things can change dramatically. But here's the thing. The fifth one, so we have the avoiding, what was it again? Number 1 was we get to justify where we're at and invalidate the other person. Get to dominate and avoid domination. Number 3, I get to avoid all responsibility and blame the other person. That's what the thing is. And exactly, you're doing the work, girlfriend. Tara, you're doing the work. Number 4, this is the big one. Look at your complaint. And I guarantee you, this is the Persian one. If you're Persian, this is what it is. This is what my parents' consistent complaint. There's always this complaining that happens within the family dynamic that I'm just sitting and watching. And this is the thing, is being right. Number five, number four, number five, I can't remember. The last one is being right. Being right and avoiding being wrong. Human beings would rather be sick than to be wrong. They'd rather be, we, myself included, would rather be resentful, angry, miserable, and right than to give up being right. So take a look at your complaint, what you're persistently complaining about, and chances are you want to dominate and avoid domination. You want to justify your position and invalidate the other person. You want to avoid responsibility and blame the other person. And you get to be right and the other person's wrong. Now here's the crazy part about it. Because you get to do all of those things, but unfortunately, your complaining comes at a very hefty cost. Comes at a very high price. And here's what it is. You might want to write them down. Number one, you block love. And from a health standpoint, when you see two people coming back together and open their hearts to love, healing happens. Love is the greatest healer around. I'm embarrassed to say I've been in the health field for 15, 16 years. I give a killer adjustment. And by killer, I don't mean I kill people. I mean killer, I mean it's a good thing. I give an amazing adjustment, but I have never seen any more powerful of a healer than the power of unconditional love to heal. So when you are holding on to your persistent complaint, you get to dominate, you get to be right, you get to justify where you're at, you get to, you get to be right, you get to avoid responsibility, but it's costing you love and affinity and affection. It's a shame, because we're only on this planet. It's a domination issue. Absolutely, D. Oh, you would have really loved being at the workshop over the weekend in Montreal, but we had Golnar taking your place. How many people told Golnar that you were D? So yeah, you get to dominate by your persistent complaint about your manager. Oh, she's incompetent. She's your manager, so you feel a subordination. So by bitching and pissing and moaning, you get to be right and you get to dominate. Oh, how awesome. You get to dominate. All of these freaking complaints that we have, we get all these payoffs, but what are these complaints costing you? Number one, the complaint is costing you love and affinity. Number two, your complaint. Hey, what's up, Saki? Welcome to the group. Welcome. It's good to have you, my dear. Number two, your persistent complaint is costing you dearly. It's costing you your power. Because check this out. You can't give away your power. Yes, Golnar D is your twin. You can't give away your power by complaining to somebody and then wonder why you feel so disempowered. By complaining against your boss, by complaining against the government, by complaining against your spouse, by complaining against your freaking grandfather, or me complaining against my brother or my parents for not supporting me, I literally have given away my power. So you can't have power and hold on to your persistent complaint. The two are mutually exclusive. So you not only give away love and affinity, but you give away your power. That's the cost of your complaint. It's destroying your life. It's giving away your power. Number three, it's giving away your freedom and your self-expression. So the complaints that you have about other people, instead of speaking up and sharing how you feel, you complain. What ends up happening is you're giving away your freedom and your self-expression and your health and your vitality. So it's time to look at yourself in the mirror and see this complaint that's persisting. The only way that you're going to let it go and give it up is that if you were to see that the costs of the complaint are greater than the payoffs and the benefits of being right and justifying and all this stuff. So when I work with people, if you're going through a problem, if you're playing victim to something in your life right now, message me privately. I'd love to see if you're ready to work on clearing this shit. But I have a conversation with people because I don't take everybody on. Because everybody loves to friggin' complain. I had a lady last week go on for an hour on the phone while I was just, by the way, when you go and you complain to your friends, let me just let you know, there's nothing inspiring. Your friends are sick and tired of your bullshit. Your friends are completely sick and tired of hearing you incessantly whine and complain and play victim. They frickin' hate it about you. It blocks you from other people. They can't stand that about you. And I can tell you this, I'm looking you in the eye right now. It's not personal to you because that's just how it feels. They're sick and tired of your bullshit. Your spouse is sick and tired of your complaints. There's nothing inspiring. And by the way, it never ever gets what you actually want. The complaint, when done in a certain way, with the incessant whining, never fucking gets what you actually want. It has the opposite effect. It pushes people further away. I was on this phone with this one gal just complaining about all the horrible people in her life, and she's wondering why her life isn't working. And she goes, I want you to help me. And I told her, I said, you're not ready. She goes, what are you talking about? I said, you're getting a lot of benefits and payoffs of this complaint. How is it impacting your life? She goes, oh, it's this and that. She doesn't see the costs of her life. I said, you're not ready because the costs aren't outweighing the benefits of being right and being justified and avoiding responsibility. Only when you can see that it's destroying your life. You look around and you go, so how are you sleeping at night? Do you have insomnia? How's your stress levels? Do you have a lot of anxiety? Are you doing what you love, or do you sit eating bonbons at home, gaining 30, 40, 50 frickin' pounds, hating yourself when you look in the mirror, looking around, and nobody wants to fucking be around you? Nobody wants to be around you. You don't get invited to parties because nobody likes that friggin' disgusting energy because you're just an incessant whiner and complainer. And she started looking around. She goes, oh, my God, yeah, I'm alone. I don't have anybody except my daughter. And I said, exactly. How old is she? 14. Guess what's going to happen the second that she turns 18, 19? She's going to get the hell away. She goes, oh, my God, I am sick and tired of being around this mother of mine that complains. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? How many of you guys here know exactly what I'm talking about? How many of you know somebody who's constantly doing that? How many are actually looking in the mirror and you're noticing that it's you? Hey, Suman, what's up, girl? I miss you, hun. Miss you and Gauri. Miss you. It's cool to see former patients of mine coming on board and saying hello. So let me know. What is your complaint? What's the payoff you're getting? And here's the other question that I have. What's it costing you? Your power, your freedom, your self-expression, your love and affinity around others. You've got to want it. You've got to want to get off it. You've got to want to be able to see things from another perspective. This type of work, doing overview, the people I work with, I take about 50%, 20 to 30% of clients, and the majority I say, I'm sorry you're not ready. You're not willing to invest in yourself. You're not willing to get off your little victim story. You just want support. Your best bet is to go spend $150 every week for an hour talking to a counselor, a therapist or a psychiatrist who's going to adjust your medication because you're feeling so shitty about yourself, and you now have anxiety and you have depression because of your incessant whining complaints about mom, dad, whatever. The work that I do is quick, it's fast, but it's only for those willing to stop the fricking lying, stop the fricking complaining, and actually see that the words you use to describe other people is destroying your life, and that your life is all about relationships. And if you want your life to work, it's wise for you to actually look at the relationships in your life that are lacking integrity and get off of your little high horse. You got to give up being right, and you got to get humble, and then go and restore where you've been inauthentic. First by shifting perspective, and then getting into action. The majority of my clients that I see, they don't want to go and restore that because it's too damn painful. because they've been so entrenched in the story, they've been so invested in the lie and the story and the half-truth that they've built an identity around it. And that identity then turns into an illness, turns into anxiety, it turns into depression, it turns into digestive disorders. And we get so wound up and we get so invested in the complaint that our life starts to crumble. And we are looking at everyone else as being the cause, and nobody, very few, very, very few people are wanting to actually look themselves in the mirror and go, oh my God, I'm the one that's the cause of this, and no one's here to rescue me. I'm the one that's to be the hero to transform this, and I can only do that by transforming my perceptions of it. It's very humbling. This work is very humbling. And the feedback that I got from a lot of people who have been to my previous seminars, I took a hiatus for the past 6 months because I was going through the pit of my darkness. You know what everybody said? Oh my God, Nima, you're so humble, you're so connected, you're so authentic. Guess why? It's because I had to own up to what an asshole I was. I had to look at all my darkness in the mirror and go, oh my God, I am a lying sack of complaining bullshit. I am a liar. And so the program that I have is 90 days called the Powerfully Aligned Mastermind Group, where everybody is faced with the uncomfortable truth that they're all fucking liars in the stories and complaints that they tell. And initially it's very hard for people to get. There's tears, there's fear, there is, oh my God, Tara, can you see where you were 1 month ago? Tara, where were you 1 month ago when I said you're going to have to own up to what a complete asshole you've been to your father in your form? Like, no, I don't want to. They bitch, they piss, they moan all the time. But that's why this is for warriors. This is for people who are ready to face their darkness and to actually take responsibility. Self-loathing, right. You were totally in self-loathing. And then once we got you into action and you owned up to it and took uncomfortable action, by the way, Tara, what you've done was brave. Not everybody's willing to do the work. So I'm very open to having a conversation with somebody who's ready to face their truth, ready to own up to their complaints and transform it. And I love to work with those people. It's a dream to work with. It's like that guy Giovanni, who was in the workshop this weekend. He's a dream to work with because he's so coachable and open. He's like, oh my God, I'm an asshole. And then there's other people who look in. What's up, Megan? There's other people who look in and go, oh my God, there's no way that person's to blame. He abused me. He was an abuser. He's toxic. He's this, he's that. And all of these labels and these complaints we love to throw around, what that does is that it completely avoids any responsibility of our own. And unfortunately, you get to be right. Fortunately, you get to be right, which is great. But unfortunately, you lose love and affinity. You lose all your power because you've just given it away to that other abuser. You lose all of your freedom. Your life stops working. Your life just starts to fall apart. You start to get anxiety. You get chronic pains. You get digestive disturbances. You go from one doctor to another trying to find the solution. Your hormones get all whacked out of imbalance. And you're looking for some solution outside of you. And you might get some relief by taking a pill. It masks the problem, or taking a vitamin or doing some exercise might mask it, but that persistent complaint remains and you're still a victim. And it always comes back to jump out at you. You get a tumor, you get growths in your body. Your body is trying to get you to stop fricking lying. And I'm not like a therapist or a counselor. I'm a guy who actually went through the whole journey. I'm a guy that went through the darkness. I'm a guy that studied human behavior and health and healing and did it in the structural senses. Now is being able to recognize that there's more to this game than just the spinal cord nervous system. There's more to this game than just what you put into your body. There's more to this game than only exercise. There is the content of my mind and what I'm dedicating my life to, and the stories and complaints that I've had about my life. and my willingness and openness to get real and authentic and tell the fucking truth. Because anything that I'm not able to be real about is a lie, and my mind, because I don't want to face that truth, will create distractions in the form of anxiety, and that's what I was getting. Paralyzing anxiety. And the second that I owned up to my lie, my anxiety was gone, and I was like, whoa, holy shit. So patients would come to me saying, oh, I've been diagnosed with anxiety, I've been pills, my doctor says it's a chemical imbalance, it's hereditary, and it's all lies. It's all the lies that they're telling. My mother didn't love me, my father should have stayed. All of this stuff was, hey baby, hey homie. All of this stuff is all about these lies that we tell. And the second that I started telling the truth and reaching out to these people who I was lying to, I got my power back. All of a sudden, I got my freedom back. I could now start speaking again. I felt like I had something worthy of saying, whereas months before, I couldn't do a Facebook Live post. Right now, what I'm doing right now, if you ask me, I remember Amanda was saying, Nima, why don't you do your Facebook Lives every day? And I'm like, I looked at her with this look in my eyes, and I was like, I don't have anything to say. I have nothing to say. And it was like as though I would look back on all my previous posts, I would watch my videos, and I go, who the fuck is that guy? Who is that guy who's so powerful and free and self-expressed? If you're ever feeling like, where did my mojo go? Where did my sparkle? My clients, people reach out to me and they come to me, they go, I feel like I've lost my sparkle. I feel like I've lost my mojo. I'm like, I get it. I've frickin' been there. I know exactly what it's like. And I know exactly why it was gone. Because it was gone in my life and I fucking found it again. It was because I stopped the fucking lies. Sorry, I'm a little bit passionate about this. You're going to want to watch this again, and you're going to want to bleep out. I don't know, Facebook Live doesn't have the bleep out version. It's my group. I'll talk the way I want. Fuck you. I'm just kidding. Saying this with love. Kat, what's up? See, the coolest part about attending these live trainings is that these people who are saying hi and giving each other props all got to watch each other face their lies and publicly admit where they were full of shit. Hey Jen, love you babe. And when you publicly admit to the other people, when you publicly admit where you've been full of shit, you think that it's a sign of weakness, but it's actually, uh-oh, we said bad word. Jasmine just heard it. Hey, what's up, Jasmine? It was great meeting you in Montreal. It's Kat's daughter. She's a rock star. Love you. When you publicly admit where you've been absolutely full of shit, you think that that's weak. I just got off a session with one of my clients who was like, I don't want to admit, It's just complete resistance to telling their family truths about themselves. I don't have to share that. Consider your hiding is blocking your power. And you can't ask for your power and your mojo and your sparkle and resist doing the activities, the difficult work that's going to really re-establish your power again. So I have a 90-day program called Powerfully Aligned. It's a mastermind group of badasses who are willing to do the work. And what's included in it now, because it's mandatory, is a live training. It's now included. It was a gift that I gave because I want to meet all of my mastermind group in person because you truly become like family. Hey, and those of you who've been part of my group or are part of the mastermind group, please give a shout out and share. You're like family. You become family to the point where I will yell and scream and piss and moan at you to your face and have you say, like my last client, you know what he said? When you told me this, I wanted to reach out and fucking kill you. He literally made this face, like, because we were doing a Skype call, and he literally made this physical hand gesture to me. He literally made that. You want to kill me, didn't you, Tara? I want to fucking kill. When I'm like, you're going to call your dad and you're going to tell him what an asshole you were. And you're, no, but, I haven't talked to him in 10 years. Exactly. And you wonder why your life isn't working. You wonder why you don't want to have sex with your husband and that's blocked sexually and your creativity is blocked and you want to eat bonbons all day and you gain 40 pounds. You wonder why. It's because you got a broken down story and you want to lie and keep pretending, and then you meet an asshole like me who's willing to confront you and willing to stand for you and have you hate me so that you can get a breakthrough. I am that asshole. That's who I am, absolutely. I will do that. And to see the transformations in these people when they do it, and to see what happens in their lives when they push past that asshole Nima resistance and see that they get their lives back, they get their relationships back, I'll do it 100 times out of 100. 100 times out of 100. Tara Jane Brown was living in an environment where she was vomiting once a week from panic attacks. Vomiting once a week from panic attacks. Conventional wisdom would have you go and do therapy. Group therapy, support groups. Oh, poor me, poor me, poor me. She met me and I was like, you're full of shit. Here. Let's expose the lies and let's get you into action. No, poor me. Oh. Guess what? She had to confront that. And I'm so proud of you, Tara. You drove all the way. You confronted your demons. You were a stand for Kayla. Yeah, you did it all. None of it ever worked. Hypnotherapy, maybe that's going to cure me. Well, is that going to cure you from your lies? No, it's not going to work. So, looking forward to the next workshop. Yeah, it's addictive. Getting in an environment, in a group of people, especially in the mastermind group. This is the Art of Powerful Alignment, the Powerfully Aligned Mastermind Group. Once you uncover a lie, you go and you share with everybody where you've been acting, lying, and pretending. Because not just for our own amusement, because it's fun to watch somebody pop and get real, and quit your complaining, but it's actually heart-opening. And it opens up doors for me when I see you get real. I feel inspired. I feel touched. I'm completely moved by it. And it actually makes me feel like connected with my humanity. And it makes me feel great about myself. And it gives me a possibility by watching you get real and real vulnerable. Kind of like what I'm doing with you right now, sharing where I've been an asshole. What it does is it gives you permission to call yourself out. Yeah. This has done more than years of therapy. That's right. We've been working together for, 4 weeks? 5 weeks? And has it been easy? No. But it's just about you getting honest. Anxiety is not a disorder. It's a distraction from the complaining and the lying. Your complaining is costing you your life. You're complaining about your boyfriend not being able to pay the bills. You're complaining about your wife not giving you enough affection. It's costing you your life because it keeps you from taking inspired action. And inspired action first is getting help. Don't do this alone, brother or sister. Don't do it alone because you don't know what you don't know and you can't see your frickin' blind spots. So it takes somebody that you give a shit about, whose opinion you give a shit about, to give you the strategic feedback that only accepts and sees the highest version of you and is not going to put up with your bullshit. To call you out and push you into uncomfortable action and restoring what's been broken so that you can have your life back. And the net result of doing this work is you become a stand for those around you. You think it's selfish by investing in yourself and doing this type of work. A rising tide lifts all boats. And there isn't a person in my group, in the Powerfully Aligned Mastermind group, who hasn't done the work, and the people around them, their friends, their family, their children, haven't benefited by their growth and expansion. So I want you to look at what you're complaining about right now and consider when you're ready to get off it. In other words, when the costs of it far outweigh the benefits of being right and being on your fucking high horse, making them wrong and justifying you and invalidating them and avoiding their domination. Once it's there, once you're truly there and you see that it's costing you, reach out. Send me a private message. We have 3 people this month who've graduated from the Powerfully Aligned Mastermind program. Carrie Cater, for example, who came to the Montreal workshop in 3 months, has lost 40 pounds, has been able to powerfully, what's the word I'm looking for? Consciously uncouple from her partner of 7 years, who has been completely, she's been paralyzed and blocked in that, anxious. She's been able to create a new charity within her practice. She's an acupuncturist in outside of Atlanta, Georgia, and she's been able to make a huge difference not only in her life, in her weight, in her physical well-being, but now the community has benefited, and she's now on a new path of finding her own kind of power within relationships. Dita, who has just completely transformed her entire life, feels powerful again, no longer being run by anxiety and all these stories of I'm not enough. Her past demons cleared. She's powerful again. Kim Gilmore Beard, I'm so proud of you, who's in October had complaints about her past, about her story, about her upbringing, about her father, about herself, about her guilt. And based on that, the impact of that story and that complaint was that she was living in a freaking prison at home, disconnected from her kids, not able to get on a plane, not even able to drive her car and go to the gym and take care of herself. She was just wasting away in her bedroom day and night, disconnecting from everyone, using her anxiety as an excuse to disconnect. Turns out she had to clear guilt, she had to clear shame, and she was pretending and lying to her family. And so as she opened up and told the truth, there was some repercussions of that. She got through, but she got into a plane, came to a new country in a different language, stayed in a completely different environment at an Airbnb of a stranger, where 3 months ago that was impossible. And so these people are graduating. They've moved on, and they're moving on to do big, huge things for themselves. They see futures that they didn't see before. And now that's opened up some space for 3 people. So if you have a persistent complaint that you are running and you see the impact in your life and it's costing you your life, and you find your health problems, your hormones are imbalanced because of that poor woe is me story complaint, your hormones are out of whack, your digestion is screwed, you're feeling anxious, you can't sleep at night, you've disconnected from other people, you are avoiding certain situations and parties, you're avoiding going places because God forbid you bump into people, complete lack of power. Don't want to go to this city because, oh no, I don't want to run into this person, complete lack of power. You are feeling like you're drifting in this planet. You aren't really aware that you have a light and a darkness, and you haven't learned the tools, the valuable skills of using your darkness to serve others. I have a darkness too. Many of you have never seen it because you only see perfection. I understand that. But my darkness is in my ego. My darkness is in my narcissism. My darkness is in my complete focus on my own agenda and my mission and purpose. I get it. That's part of my darkness. But guess what? If I hadn't done the work and integrated my darkness, I wouldn't have been able to serve so many people and have them become free of the complete bullshit delusions that are creating stress, anxiety, and health problems in their lives. Because in order to step up and play a bigger game, there's a little voice in your head that says, I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. Who am I to make such a difference? Yeah, I'm talking about that same voice that's stopping you from stepping up and playing bigger than what you currently are. It's there, I know. I hear it in all of you. guess what? I got it too. But if I didn't have this little dark passenger that thinks he's the shit sometimes, I wouldn't have been able to have the courage to sell $1 million practice for almost nothing, basically give it away, through no fault of anyone else but my own, and to give myself permission to step up and say, I can help you, and you're going to have to invest in yourself, because you got to invest time, money, energy, and desire into transforming this. It's not going to happen if it's free and with zero effort. And so if it wasn't for that part of me, that has that darkness, I wouldn't have been able to give myself the permission to step up and actually make an impact. So my shadow serves humanity when I learn how to use it for good. There are tools, there are ways to embrace your darkness, love your shadow. And the overview method is your access point to that kind of power. So if you are feeling like you're hating or running from half of yourself constantly, and you're feeling like you just are drifting, purposeless, and have no idea what the hell you want to do with your life, or you know intuitively what it is, but you're paralyzed with what other people are going to think of you, reach out. Send me a private message and apply and see if this is for you. Let's have a conversation. It's a 1-hour free coaching call. You might have a breakthrough just with that. I did a call with Megan Alicia Blair back in the summer. This very call. She was in rock bottom at that point. She was not ready for the program. However, that call actually inspired some sort of an action, and within 2 weeks she got a job working in the environment that she always wanted because of the push that I gave her, the possibility that was created with that conversation. If you're wondering, and if anything that I'm saying is resonating with you, and you're feeling that little fear inside, there's a part of you that wants to retreat because it wants to stay stuck in ego. There's another part of you that knows that one day you're going to die, and we're not going to live very much longer. And so now is the time to step up and serve and play bigger and to let go of your lies, but you can't do it alone. And if you are wanting to explore the possibility of having a group of people with myself, my team of coaches who truly give a shit about seeing transformation, reach out to me and let's have a conversation. And if I think you're ready, then I'm going to invite you into the program. And if you're not ready, then you're not ready. It's novelty, yes. Fantasy, maybe. Choosing to be good or bad guy is the ultimate power. Having to be good, bad is the weakness. Exactly. Having to be good, bad. Good point, Johnny boy. We live in this environment, especially if you were raised with religion, especially with the church, there is a good and there is a bad. Then in school, there is a right and there is a wrong. There is a positive, there is a negative. So we grow up consistently having this split in our psyche with wanting to be the good side, but we all have a saint and a sinner within us, so we're trying to hide from the other side. So it creates this culture of having to lie about half of ourselves. In other words, telling half-truths. And that split in the psyche is what creates all the chaos in our minds. All that devastation. Until we hit rock bottom and we learn how to embrace those parts of us and use it to be able to serve. I am very, very clear on what my darkness is. I'm not trying to hide it from anybody anymore. I'm sharing it with you for the sake of liberating more people. That's how you use your darkness to serve other people. So send me a private message. Are there any questions? Has this been useful for you? 2 of you, 3 of you. If this has been useful, let me know. Give me a shout out. Write in the comments section what you're present to, what that opened up for you. And if you are interested in actually exploring more, send me a private message. And most importantly, invite other people into this group to watch what you just saw, because this might be the one thing that transforms them. The fact that they're complaining, the fact that they are basically crippling their own growth. So I'm here for you, and I want to welcome all the new members, and I want to thank all of you for participating. Thank you for being part of this group. You guys don't know that, but you guys give me great purpose. And when the teacher is ready, the students appear. When the students are ready, the teacher appears. And so thank you for being participating. Thank you for coming to the workshops. By the way, Vancouver in the end of March is our next one, and Montreal in May. Looking at exploring the possibility of doing one in Toronto. But Carl, love to do in Peru. If you're up for it, let's create a possibility. And I really want to do Machu Picchu. And so let's make that shit happen, baby. So send me a private message. We only have space for 15 in the live trainings. And the people in the Powerfully Aligned Mastermind group get precedent because they're family. And I'd love to hear from you. If there's any questions, comments, what are you present to? And ask me any questions. Mad love to you, my dear cat. Ask me any questions, and I will do a Facebook Live post and create content that's going to give you something that's going to be helping you in some way on this beautiful planet of ours. Any questions? If none, God bless you. Thank you for your participation, and I hope to see you at the next perfect time.